Yo, what is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to the first episode of my Football Manager Top 5 series. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the top 5 Easter eggs and secrets within the Championship and Football Manager series. If you want to find out how you can win a copy of FM15, stick around till the end of the video. But before we start our actual countdown, I want to take a few moments just to give a few honourable mentions. The first of these honourable mentions is a better known one, the April Fool's Easter egg. If it's April Fool's in real life, and you happen to be on April the 1st in game, you'll be presented with a rather odd inbox message informing you that you now have £500 million, should you choose to accept, to spend on players. Upon accepting the request, a pop-up box appears slightly mocking you, and nothing happens. It's depressing, it's sad, especially if you're in the low leagues and it's the first time you've seen it and you suddenly get your hopes up, and that's why it deserves a mention. The next two Easter eggs are ones which were incredibly hard to find footage for, the first of which is requesting larger halftime oranges back in Championship Manager 2001. In this Easter egg, during the game the user was able to go to the board request screen and request larger halftime oranges for his players. Unfortunately, the board would always dismiss this request, however, they would stress that should the situation change, they'd inform you immediately. The next honourable mention is that of the Harchester United football team. They were included in Football Manager 2006 as a playable team that could be activated in-game by tweaking a few files in the game's directory. Harchester United were of course the fictional team in the Sky 1 Series Dream Team, and since this database came out, there's been various attempts to recreate them in Football Managers gone by. The final honourable mention is Facing the Game. This Easter egg dates back a long way, but back in 2009 it was particularly prominent. By searching in the search bar Face in the Game with no spaces, the user was able to bring up a list of regens and new gens which were named after Sports Interactive staff members. These players would have rather wacky personalities, and following on from 2009, these personality traits were toned down. However, some of these players can still be found in games today, including FM15, with more staff members than ever being included in the game. Furthermore, during the broadcast of the FM documentary FM and Alternative Reality, 3 viewers at various cinemas around the UK were given an opportunity to be immortalised into the game as a regen, similarly to in this Easter egg. Coming in at number 5 is the Football Manager 2005, the Badgers Easter egg. It's no secret that Soccer AM and Football Manager share an affinity, with Soccer AM cast members making regular appearances in the game, the first of which came in Football Manager 2005. If the user searched for the team name The Badgers, they were able to find a secret team consisting mostly of Soccer AM cast members. These players were terrible, old, but did include some funny faces, and it was always odd to go and sign Tim Lovejoy in your Football Manager saves. Number 4 in our countdown goes to the Sports Interactive coach reports. As well as the many real players within Football Manager, back in 2000, the Sports Interactive staff members decided it'd be quite funny to hide themselves away in the database. I must warn you, however, if you're going after these players expecting them to improve your team, that isn't going to happen. They're terrible. However, if you do choose to sign them and then proceed to ask for coach reports on these various players, you're presented with some rather amusing results. I have a link down in the description so you can go and check out these in detail if you want to. There's a few of them shown on screen, but they were very funny at the time, and it was a nice little way to sneak themselves into the game. I really like this Easter egg, and it can perhaps go some way to explaining the Football Manager 2009 personalities within the Facing the Game Easter egg. Slightly different these two, but very similar in many other ways, but this was the first time it had been seen in the game, and back in 2001, it was very amusing to stumble across. Breaking in at the number 3 spot is the Merry Christmas secret achievement on Football Manager 2012. This Easter egg involved the user, similarly to the April Fool's Easter egg, playing Football Manager on a certain time of the year, fairly obviously by the name Christmas. If the user was playing Football Manager on either Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, or Boxing Day, or changed their date on their computer to match one of those 3 dates, and also got to the Christmas period in the 3 days in question in-game, they had an opportunity to do this achievement. It was hinted at all over social media, with the Sports Interactive and Miles Jacobson Twitters tweeting out various cryptic clues to allow the players to potentially unlock this achievement. To actually do the Easter egg, the user simply had to arrange a friendly with the non-league Finnish team Santa Claus FC. Upon doing this, they'd be given the Merry Christmas Secret achievement. To this day, only 0.4% of the entire Football Manager 2012 player base have this achievement unlocked. Coming in at the number 2 spot, and falling just short in our top 5 countdown, is the Manager's Son secret. Not so secretive now, as I did do a video on it in the past. However, if you don't know, if your manager is over the age of 35, every youth intake, there's about a 1 in 10,000 chance that one of the players is going to be your son. You can identify them by going to their personal information tab, and under the preferred personnel it'll have your manager's name under the tag father. If you happen to do this by chance by playing over 800 years on FM and randomly getting a son, I salute you. However, I have to tip my hat off to anyone who's willing to save before regen day and repeatedly advance one day in the hope that their luck's in and they get a son. Either way, it's a cool little secret within the game and a nice little way to add an additional emotional attachment to any Football Manager save. If you're a Football Manager veteran at this point, you're probably sat thinking, well, what is the last Easter egg? What could it be? What warrants the number 1 spot? Well, I have you guys here, the only female player ever to appear in this wonderful series. Her name is Laura Gilligy. She was back in Championship Manager 2001, and she played for the team East Stirling in the Scottish 3rd Division. The story goes that one of the programmers over at Sports Interactive was talking with an East Stirling fan who was bemoaning about his Scottish 3rd Division club and how bad they were doing, and commented on the fact that he felt the female physiotherapist on the bench could do better than half the men out of there. So the programmers over at Sports Interactive decided to put this to the test by making her a player within the game. Unfortunately for Laura, she was removed from Championship Manager 2001 in the January update, following various complaints from the directors at East Stirling, who went to various national papers to complain vigorously. During some of the earlier Championship Manager games, it was possible to find other female players. However, these were always regens. The reason for this being was there were female staff members within the game, and because there was no gender identification at this point, it meant that their names were in the pool of Christian names that could be randomly assigned to players when they regenerated into the game. However, Laura remains the only female player who's a real person to ever feature in a Championship or Football Manager game as a player. And for that reason alone, she takes the number 1 spot. As I mentioned right at the start of the video, I'm giving one of you guys a chance to win a copy of Football Manager 2015, courtesy of Sports Interactive. To be in with a chance of winning, all you've got to do is leave your suggestion for a future Football Manager Easter egg or secret down in the comments. I'm going to be picking out my favourite answer on Friday the 14th of November 2014, so get your answers in before then. You can leave multiple answers, but I will be picking my favourite answer as opposed to just picking one at random. So quality over quantity, please, guys. Other than that, if you have enjoyed the video and you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button. Like the video if you enjoyed. You can follow me on Twitter as well as other social media networks. Links are down in the description. And other than that, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.